Hello, brother. What's the plan for today? Today, we're going to be going over Project Rebalance, item and combat adjustments. Okay? Project Rebalance, combat and item changes. Are you anxiously eyeballing your bank, wondering what changes Project Rebalance will bring to your favorite bits of gear? Well, don't wonder long, because here's the blog you've been waiting for. Today, we're talking about buffs, debuffs, and other changes to various bits of combat gear. And just to round things out, we got almost more combat changes for you. All right, item adjustments. Okay, before we get started, please note that the tomes of fire and water will be adjusted as per our previous Project Rebalance blog, so we won't be rehashing those changes here. Magic gear and the occult necklace. The occult necklace does an astronomical amount of lifting for magic's damage output. And to make a long story short, we think an item this powerful should set you back more than a mere 800,000 GP. Okay, so it costs about... Wow, it's less than $1 million right now. Yeah, you need like, what, 93 Slayer to get it, right? That's kind of crazy. For example, let's assume 2 players have 99 magic and fancy a bit of barrows. Player A equips an occult necklace for 800k and calls it a day. Player B equips an ancestral set and a magus ring, eternal boots, and turns on augury, which sets them back a whopping 454 million GP. Now, who do you think kills the melee barrows brothers fastest? If you answered player A, you are correct. Wow, player A is stronger than a full ancestral set, a magus ring, and eternal boots? Bro, I feel like eternal boots have no use. Anybody else agree with that or no? Eternal boots is absolutely dog shit. Can we? And even Pegasians is kind of shit too. I feel like nobody uses the Eternals or Pegasians nowadays. It's always just Prims. They should definitely be buffed. They should definitely be buffed. It's so bad how useless they are. Or they don't even try to add magic damage to them in this blog update. They should have updated the Eternal Boots this update as well. I feel like they have almost no use. It's terrible. They should add like a little bit of maybe magic damage. Wow, player A beats them with just a cold. That's interesting. Okay, it's time to break the occult's necklace's strange hold on the magic gear's progression. We plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone by redistributing the occult necklace's stats around other magic gear. Okay, so occult necklace's magic damage will be reduced from 10% to 4%. Damn! Yeah! That's actually a big change. 6% is actually big. My God, that's a... Wow. Yeah, I mean, okay. That's interesting, chat. That's a very big change. Wow, that is 6%. Honestly, though, I see where they're coming from, and I honestly agree with Gegex on this point. I do think occult should be nerfed, but I don't know how much percentage. I guess we'll see how it's going to be used with the 6%. Ancestral robe set pieces, magic damage per piece increased from 2% to 4%. Vitreous robe set pieces, magic damage per increased from 1% to 2%. And then Vitreous also has that set effect where if you use Ancients, you get like a boosted hit. By the way, whoever doesn't know. Infinity robe set pieces, magic damage per increased from 0% to 1%. Wow, that's interesting. I feel like people will now maybe try to go do some mage training arena, right? Maybe more enticed to do so. Dagon High robe set pieces, magic damage per from 0% to 1%. Third Age Mage armor pieces from 0% to 1%. Augury magic damage while active increased from 0% to 4%. Oh my God, this is so good for NHing. Damn, 4% is kind of crazy. 4% is kind of crazy though, because let me tell you why. It's more skill, right? Because if you put Augury on, then you deserve on your cast of Baraga, and you switch to Rigor, and then you put Piety on your melee, and you know, and you get that extra switch in to click Augury, not just for the accuracy, but also you get mage damage now. I really like that. Yeah, that's going to make NHing less forgiving. Yeah, so you got to get those prayers right. If you don't, you're going to get hit more damage. Not only that, if you put Augury on, that's more skill in terms of the casting that you're going to be doing. So I like that a lot. So Wicked Shadow doesn't multiply accuracy or damage bonuses gained from prayers. So this would remain a 4% increase rather than 12%. So chat, I don't necessarily see this as bad, but I want you guys to know how you guys feel about this. Yeah, how you guys feeling right now? I like this. It's shit for peers and mid-level PKing. It's good, but Reddit is crying. It's good. It makes sense. Somebody said something good that I was thinking about, and I will say it myself. But I do think that they should give, if they're going to do all this set increase, then they should probably increase also Mystic Might for peers, Zerkers, the Mystique of the Miter. So this thing right here in game, if they're going to do this change, and they should also maybe even give a damage set increase on Elder Robes. What do you guys think about that? Because peers are getting a little bit here. These changes bring the necklace's power a little more in line with obtainability so that players can feel themselves getting stronger as they unlock other gear. Additionally, Augury now has greater offensive power, increasing the value of an arcane prayer scroll. Yo, whoever bought like 100 of these when they were like 1 mil, enjoy. Because they're probably at like 5 mil now, right? Or more. Actually, is everything just skyrocketing right now or no? Elder Maul is. I mean, Elder Maul is like 28 mil right now. Oh, I'm not on the right account. Yeah, I mean, Elder Maul has already skyrocketed. Whoa! 44 miller? Oh, that's almost oh my god! Elder Maul is almost 100. That's cap. That's cap. That's cap. No way Elder Maul is being sold for 81 mil. What the f? Why is Elder Maul getting raised? There's an update on them too? Oh my god, this post is crazy. We also see new utility for robe sets, which are currently best suited for accounts with defense limitations. We want to see the Ahrim robes sit in a unique tankier battle mage niche with defense that outshines other options in exchange for less offensive potential. Honestly, I think everything is really about DPS in terms of PVM and PvP. So I don't see why that I would go for Ahrim myself. Do you guys agree, or would you guys like tank your shit like that? Tank is always good. Tank is fine. I just wouldn't get Ahrim myself. I would try to get the other options for sure. Let's see what we got here. For players with near the best in slot setups, these changes buff magic and bring other weapons closer to make it rattle. Okay. Now this approach still has issues. Magic has traditionally struggled to keep up with the other corners of the combat triangle in PvP, and these changes make it even weaker, especially for the one defense accounts. We think we could resolve these issues with a blighted necklace slot and make a little bit more damage on the Elder Chaos Druid robes. Wow, that's exactly what I said. That's literally exact, bro. I just predicted the future, bro. I didn't say the blighted necklace slot, but I was talking about the Elder Chaos Druids. They just stole my idea. So I like the way that they're thinking about peers in this scenario, right? Because we need peers to actually not compare, but actually have something of their own in a lower bracket. Now, the Soulreaper axe. Stacks no longer will be instantly... Okay, wait. Stacks will no longer be lost instantly upon switching weapon. Stacks will start decrypt... Stop! Hate when I have to read, bro. I feel like I'm back in high school. Stacks will start to... Fuck me,
man. Decrementing.
Okay. Stacks will start to decrementing after 20 ticks. 12 seconds without attacking. Okay. Up from 10 ticks. I like this a lot. All my risk fighters, all my good PKers in the chat, why is this good? Because usually the Soulreaper axe is used with what KO weapon? Quickly, guys. What is the Soulreaper axe used with? Why is this good? G-maul. Yeah. Because you could spec and then double maul on the very next tick. So that means that you could pre-fire. What I mean by that is, let's use this remote as an example. Think of this as a Soulreaper axe. I'm like this. And then as soon as I hit, I could double click my G-maul spec and hover over my opponent. If I see a big XP, I could click on him. Yeah. So this is going to be very good to utilize KO potential on RuneScape, and I like that a lot. When stacks naturally degrade, they'll heal you for the damage you took while building those stacks up. Oh, that's nice as well. Yeah, this is a big update. Maybe we'll even see a lot of more Soulreaper axe in the wilderness, or even in PvP. We'll see. I like this a lot. Now, effectively, we're making stacks easier to maintain, removing the overly punishing stack drain with switching weapons. This does indirectly buff the Soulreaper axe damaged output, but it means that you no longer run out of stacks while waiting during intermission phases in some boss fights, such as Verzik transition between phases 2 and 3. Yeah, I like this a lot, and it's going to be very strong in PvP. Now, the big boy that we've been waiting for, the one that you guys told me that I will be shocked about. Here we go. The Elder Maul. What's happening with the Elder Maul? Do I even want to read it? Is there something good or bad? Because it's going up in price, so it has to be something good. But the question is it good for the game? That's what I'm asking. Initially, we thought about shaving off a little defense for each swing. Instead, we're giving it a special attack worth 50% of special attack energy, which reduces your target's defense by 35. Wow, that Elder Maul is getting a spec attack? Do you guys know what the f that means? That means that you can MSB, Elder Maul now, right? And then double maul after a very big Elder, like a 60 Elder. That's going to be really interesting. Yeah. Now you could Elder double maul. Yeah, that's going to be very nice for PvP as well. Not only that, That's going to be very nice for PVM as well, right? This makes it a better defense reduction weapon than the Dragon Warhammer, and it also frees up an inventory slot for scenarios where you'd otherwise use a two-handed weapon. We feel this should give you more reason to bring the Elder Maul out of the bank every once in a while. Do let us think it could be used for something more. Okay, chat, what do you guys think about that? I think that Dragon Warhammer will fall in price for sure. I do think that Elder Maul will be a stabilized around 80 mil weapon. Maybe even a little bit less or more. Let's see. Okay, now we got Inquisitor Armor and Inquisitor Mace. Inquisitor Armor set and Mace are a Crush Focus set dropped by the Nightmare and Fazani Nightmare. Each piece of the armor set boosts your damage and accuracy by 0.5% when equipped, with an additional 1% for the full set, totaling a 2.5% increase in both damage and accuracy. While the Mace is a strong weapon, it's staggeringly expensive at a more than 275 more million GP, and its damage output simply does not make up for the cost. Agreed upon. While using the Inquisitor Mace, the damage and accuracy bonuses from the Inquisitor Armor, including the set effect bonus, is tripled. So from 2.5%, it's 7.5? That's a lot, bro. What the f? Wallah, 5% is a lot. They're tripling it? It makes sense, though. Yeah, because it doesn't compare to Scythe, right? I feel like this is something that people will now maybe go for. Oh, it's still Doggy Fart. Still doesn't compare to Scythe, obviously, but maybe people will now start going for this. I think this is a great change. The Voidwaker. Oh no! I love Kurasi. Okay, I'm gonna be sad about this one, aren't I? Am I gonna be sad? Our proposal looks like this. Adjust the Voidwaker special attack so it no longer ignores accuracy, but still rolls with plus 200% increased accuracy and rolls against your target's slash or magic defense, depending on which is lower. This means the special attack still rolls with triple accuracy and picks the lowest of the two values, so you always have the best odds of hitting. It also keeps it an incredibly consistent choice in both PVM and PvP scenarios, without being so consistent that it bypasses one of our main balancing levers. I don't know how I feel about this, because back in POC in the olden days when I used to play private servers, etc., Kurasi was always known as the weapon that hits. It may not be the strongest weapon. It's not stronger than an AGS or like a double maul, right? We could always rely on it to hit, right? And that's what's so special about the Kurasi, the Voidwaker. So I don't know how I feel about it. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I personally don't like it. It seems fine because it's most likely going to hit most of the time. But they're adding on, hey man, you could possibly hit a 0 though. And I think that takes out the whole idea of the Kurasi. So now the Ancient Godsword. Wow, they're making an update about this. I'm actually very intrigued to see what this is. All right, boys, let's go. Its special attack, Blood Sacrifice, increases your max hit by 10%, and upon a successful hit, marks your target. If they don't move at least 5 tiles away after 8 ticks, they'll take 25 magic damage and you'll heal the same amount of HP. If your opponent is frozen and you hit them for even a measly 1 damage, you'll ultimately wind up with a 50 HP differential. The damage is mitigated by protection of melee or magic, so there's actually very little your opponent can do about it. Is that fun? To even the odds, we want to reduce the healing provided in PvP without reducing the Ancient Godsword's already limited utility in PVM scenarios. So healing from the successful Blood Sacrifice now heals for 15% of the target's maximum HP up to a 25 HP cap. I love this. I don't know about you guys. I love this for PvP. I love this. Yeah. I really hate the Ancient Godsword meta in PvP. People will just double Ancient Godsword spec you off the bat and then wait for the light barrier to put you back to 100 and then just keep doing it back to back. Oh, it's still 25 damage guaranteed though. I agree, they should have nerfed that a little bit, but at least they're realizing that this weapon, it's a step, it's taking, you know, a little bit of a stepper, you know, baby steps is what they're doing. And honestly, I can't complain, bro. At least they're working on that, because I hate that Ancient Godsword meta in Deep Wilderness. People will literally start the fight with 2 specs off the bat to try to get you to waste your food. And then you try to do the same and it's just Ancient Godsword meta, right? Okay. Ooh, the Dragon Warhammer is getting a change. Interesting. Other combat adjacent changes. The Quessential Grind item is a staple for those taking their first foray into PVM. Unfortunately, it's not that common. Lizardmen shamans are hard to kill, so the whole hours-long adventures can be quite boring, which is why we're making the following change. Boost the Dragon Warhammer's drop rate from 1... Yes, that's all I needed to see. I don't even want to know what you changed it to. I don't even want to read the rest. Please do. Boost the Dragon Warhammer's drop rate from 1 in 5k to 1 in 3k. I like this a lot. I mean, it's still rare. I honestly think they should make Dragon Warhammer come from a boss instead of a lizard shaman. But this is definitely a step in the right direction as well. I don't see why anybody would go against this update. Maybe even If it's on task, you put it 1 in 2K or something. Listen, chat, how stupid does it sound that you could kill a boss, you could kill a lizard over and over again thousands of times, and you have a chance to get a very big item for your Iron Man, but it's 1 in 5K. Like, you might as well make it to a boss, like a boss that is difficult, that drops only Dragon Warhammer if they could do that, or just lower the drop rate at that point, because 1 in 5K is f***ing absurd. This is a W update, in my opinion. I will gladly take that. Okay, the Nightmare and Phazani Nightmare. Wow, this is an update for them as well. Okay. These bosses are tough and their uniques do the heavy lifting in terms of awards. However, these uniques are so rare that players don't feel either variant of this beastly boss is worth their time or their supplies. In short, all Nightmare uniques are being made 50% more common. I like this, yeah. You don't see not many people farming Phazani Nightmare or Nightmare, so they're just trying to incentivize, you know, people to go back out there and kill the boss. Let's see what this janitorial... I like this a lot as well, the Nightmare. I don't see a problem with that. For those of you that not in know, old school's combat works in a bit like Dungeons and Dragons. You roll to hit and then roll again to see how much damage you do. In the current system, it's possible to hit and then roll a 0 damage, okay? This is especially punishing early in the game where players have a lower max hit overall. If a lower player can hit only 1 damage, there's a 50% chance that they'll deal 0 damage instead, even in late game. When players are significantly more powerful, the potential to roll 0 is always looming. And anyone who's ever whiffed a Dragon Warhammer special attack knows exactly how frustrating it can be. Wow, speedrunners are literally frothing out the mouth right now. They are so happy. I know they're like Patrick Store, like, like I know they're frothing right now. Because you know how many times they have to restart Tecton and all that dog shit? They are frothing at this update, whatever this is. We're actually increasing the damage output of every single weapon in the game. This change would be disproportionately impactful for multi-hit weapons like the Scythe of Return. As a result, our changes are focused on improving the feel of early combat, improving the readability of the combat in late game scenarios. This leaves DPS unchanged aside from the extremely early stages of the game, which feels much better. So they're trying to make early combat easier for players and, you know, to, I guess, level up your stats and not be so boring, I guess, quote unquote. Early game combat prayers. Let's see this. In other early game news, we'll be making changes to Thick Skin, Burst of Strength, Clarity of Thought, Sharp Eye, and Mystique Will. So Thick Skin, Burst of Strength, Clarity of Thought, Sharp Eye, and Mystique Will. So they're giving these a use? That's very interesting. Okay, let's hear their plan. Reduce the drain rate of Thick Skin, Burst of Strength, Clarity of Thought, Sharp Eye, and Mystique Will from 5 points per minute to 1 point per minute. Adjust Sharp Eye and Burst of Strength to boost your range and strength levels by +1 respectively if they're lower than 20. I mean, okay. I mean, it's not a bad change. It's just, I feel like there's more important things to work on. TOA, Path of and Baba. There's no escaping the dreaded monkey room. Thankfully, your prayers to the Metaphyte Pathian have been answered. Increase hit points for all style-based enemies inside the Path of... These enemies will now always take maximum damage when attacked with the opposing combat style. Okay. This reminds me of the Colosseum with the Freckman warriors, how you can use mage on the berserker, range on the mage, and then mage on the range. I mean, sorry, melee on the range. I think that's a nice little update. Makes it more skillful in my opinion. Instead of like camping one item the whole time, you're gonna have to do switches and try to one-hit all of them. Wow. This whole blog has been a W in my opinion, except for the Voidwaker update. Yeah, that's the only thing I think I've disliked. How about you guys? W update, yes, true. Or are you excited for the Elder Maul? I am indeed. No Ahrim buff sucks. Elder Maul update is an L. Voidwaker update. Ahrim needs damage boost. Infinity Robes is dumb. Eternals needs a buff. What else? Rip Pure's Occult. I completely agree with that. Kind of dislike the damage boost on Prayer. I mean, on, what did you say? On Mage? Torag Hammers win. Yeah, we need a Torag Hammer update. And after the Perilous Moons, those Machatas, those are the best in slot over Torag Hammers anyway, so yeah, we need that as well. Is it Warhammer pointless with the maul buff? Not really, no. I mean, it's still one attack and stuff like that, and you can use it with a Ventic Defender. Occult Necklace is too weak now. I actually like the Occult nerf. I think that it was honestly a little bit broken, right? They should buff probably different other items and stuff like that. Barrows could have upgrades in the future. Yeah, maybe I think they should probably make little slight upgrades with Barrows, but it is still the tankiest option, right? Cancel all this dog shit except Soulreaper. Soulreaper Axe is a beautiful update. I'm actually very excited about that. I'll definitely make a video about that. El Gegex, we need a buff on Rune 2.8 so free-to-play PvP can shine again. A buff on Rune 2H. Honestly, that wouldn't be a bad idea, but maybe a buff on the Ogre Hill Giant Club. Or do they seem to get very attached with item values on this blog? I agree, Hoggy, but most of them are pretty good ideas. Maybe it just needs a little bit of tweaks, but I actually like the idea behind it. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that little mini segment of the blog. I think that was a little good segment. It took about like an hour and some change.